Hey beautiful people, I'm so excited to be back with you yet again for another biblical perspective with yours truly, Jasmine Crump. One of the best things that you can do as a human being and as a believer in the body of Christ, as well as someone that has the type of platform that I have, is to be transparent. To be relatable, to be honest, to be pure, to be genuine. I think that that's extremely important. With that being said, I wanted to share some of my past experiences throughout my childhood, and I'm doing so for a few reasons. One reason is my testimony can be of some type of encouragement or blessing to somebody else that has gone through what I've gone through, or that is going through what I went through as a child. And it's also liberating for me because I talk about all the time, and even in my videos when I'm praying, because it's something that I genuinely do when I'm speaking to God, I ask God to reveal to me the things that are within my heart that I'm not aware of. It's extremely important that we are aware of our faults, of our weaknesses, of our sinful nature. With that being said, this is not the easiest thing for me to talk about. I have never spoken about this in such a public way. Not all of my family members are aware that this happened to me. It's something that's difficult to talk about, let alone on this type of platform where hundreds, thousands of strangers may potentially be able to see, and the type of feedback that you get, you just don't know how people will receive what you're saying. However, at the end of the day, it's important that I discuss this because I know this happens a lot all around the world. This is one of 3 stories where I encountered molestation and or sexual abuse. It's difficult for me to talk about it because I still want to protect my family. You still feel this sense of, I want to protect my mom because I don't want to put her out there as this horrible mother that just didn't protect me. I also want to protect the family member that abused me because I don't want to hurt other family members. So I'm at a place in my life where I have forgiven this person and I love this person genuinely, and I'm not holding any grudges. In fact, I suppressed the memories so much that I didn't realize how much this experience, along with others that I encountered in my lifetime, truly affected my behavior. It does affect me tremendously, and I didn't realize it until I had a conversation with my favorite cousin in the whole wide world yesterday. And I joke with her because every time we talk on the phone, somebody cries. If it's not her, it's me. And yesterday I was bawling in tears because we just got to talking about old times and different experiences and how important it is for people to talk about their traumas and things that happen in their lives and face their realities so that they can heal and begin to grow from it and learn from it. My mom and her siblings experienced a lot of trauma within their own lives. They were in foster care. It wasn't the best experience, as you can only imagine. So naturally, they weren't equipped to be the best parents that they could be for their children. Needless to say, my mother didn't make the best decisions for us, not because she didn't want to, but more so because she didn't know how to. My mom didn't choose the best men in her life, and she experienced a lot of physical, verbal, emotional, and spiritual abuse. Because she experienced those things and we were her children, we experienced those things as well. And I'll never forget, I had to be about 3 or 4 years old. My brother was off at school. and my mom's boyfriend at the time would watch me. I remember him always walking around shirtless and in his boxers. There wasn't a lot of boundaries or restriction there, so it was normal for me to see him half naked. And I remember this day, he was in some white underwear, like Fruit of the Loom. I don't remember exactly what I was wearing, but I do believe it to be a dress. And he laid on the couch and he told me it was nap time. He laid on his back and he had my bottom on his penis area. And I remember laying there and feeling very uncomfortable. I didn't understand what was going on because I was so young, and I knew this man to be like a stepfather to me. And I knew he showed that he loved and cared for us, so I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew something just didn't feel right, literally, because I could feel his penis moving. It felt hard up against my bottom. And I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't understand what was happening. And I would try to move and like he would kind of grip me tighter. And so I realized I have to get out of this. Like, this feels weird. And I said to myself, I have to make an excuse to get up. And so I said, I really have to go to the bathroom. And he let me up. And I went into the bathroom and I just sat there. I mean, obviously I didn't really have to go, but I knew something was strange. Something didn't feel right. And I don't remember what happened after that. I don't know if I suppressed everything else that happened or if that's all that happened, because those events were so memorable that I remember everything that happened up until that point. I never said a word to my mom. I never said a word to anybody. This particular family member was very verbally and physically abusive to us, and I was scared to say anything. At the same time, I didn't know what just happened, so I didn't know how to put it into words. I didn't know if it was wrong or if it was right. I just knew that it felt wrong and it felt weird. The enemy comes in when we're little and we're vulnerable and we're naive and we don't really know what's going on. And he tries to plant seeds. He tries to attack us and steal our innocence from us at a very young age. He comes in to kill, steal, and destroy. He comes in to traumatize us so that we look for other ways to deal with that trauma and to soothe that pain. And I just thank God for Jesus Christ. I thank God for the peace, the love, the forgiveness, that I can give my testimony with a smile and genuinely say in my heart that I don't harbor any resentfulness or unforgiveness. The only thing that I realized that I am still affected by it, and I never told anyone. I found liberty yesterday in talking to my cousin, and we were just saying how important it is to just get it out. And I still love them genuinely, and I still want to protect them, even though I was the one that was violated. And that's how I know that I am in a place where I have forgiven and I genuinely have the love of Christ on the inside of me. I just want to encourage every young girl, every boy, because this not only happens to girls and women, it happens to boys and men too. Men are sexually violated as well, and it's even more taboo for them. They don't talk about it, they suppress it. And then you wonder why you turn to certain avenues for temporary peace and relief of these issues, because you're like mentally and spiritually tormented. And it's because you need to talk about it. You need to know that it's not your fault. And as adults, it's our responsibility to protect every child. Every child, even if that isn't your biological child. It's our responsibility to protect the children. They are innocent and they are at the mercy of us as adults. I'm also doing this video to remind anyone that has been a victim of sexual abuse or molestation that it's important for you to forgive. You have to forgive them. You have to. It's going to be difficult for you to forgive them if you don't deal with it, if you don't acknowledge that it happened, and you don't seek God for peace and healing and relieve yourself of the burden that you may bear or have bared over the years. We're all human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. And we have done some really messed up things in the eyesight of God. We have made many mistakes and mistreated people before. And we've hurt and disappointed others. So we have a responsibility to forgive and love beyond the pain. We'll be held responsible for any unforgiveness or resentment in our hearts. We have to forgive. Remember, guys, love covers a multitude of sins. Love, 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 and forgive. Be blessed.